Good morning. Happy Father's Day. And I have no idea why today. I feel like today I was just it was just put on my heart to share this message. So whenever I'm a recovering addict, you can call me Des. But whenever a lot of people don't know that after addicts detox, there's still work to be done. There's still stuff that needs to be done in order for you to continue being on the right path. Some people think that, okay, I detox now, or I just need a detox, everything is going to be good. And it's absolutely not right for most addicts. Maybe you're unique, and all you need to do is detox and you're good. You can continue to live your normal life, but that's usually not right for everybody, because one, the lifestyle you were living when you were in active addiction is not the lifestyle you should be living after you detox and you want to continue to stay clean, stay sober. Whenever I detox, so I almost lost my arm. I ended up having to go to the hospital because I was literally on the brink of death. Like, so my arm was so swollen, I had fever, I was sick, I was literally on the brink of death. They ended up having to remove like most of my muscle out of my arm. But so I detoxed and everything whenever I was in the hospital, and the plan was not for me to continue to stay clean. That was not my plan. I went because I had to go to the hospital, but I took drugs with me and everything with me to the hospital, and I had an IV in my arm that they were using to give me fluids and antibiotics and everything. So I could have been, for an addict, that's the most awesome thing for an addict. They're like, what? I have a direct line to my vein? Okay. It's everything's easy now. I don't gotta look for a vein or anything. I can just put my drugs in there, whatever. But I didn't use any of my drugs whenever I went to the hospital. I did not want to use. I was so fed up. I was so over it. I had lost the desire to want to use. I was like, no, I don't want to do that. The plan wasn't for me to stay clean when I got out. Just at that moment, I was like, no, I don't want to use these drugs. I don't know what I want to do when I get out, but right now I don't want to use the drugs. And then finally, when I was released, I was like, hey, I made it over a week without using. I don't want to use, you know? I still had drugs when I went home, all that stuff, because I was still in the same lifestyle. I was still selling drugs and everything. But I didn't want to use, and the person I was living with and helping pay rent and everything, not rent, but utilities and everything, they were in the same lifestyle as me. And when they seen that I didn't want to continue to use or sell or anything, they were angry at me. We ended up getting into an argument. This is a family member. I don't want to say who exactly, but this is a family member. And it's like it scared them to know that I wanted to change and I didn't want to live the same lifestyle. It benefited them for me to be in the same lifestyle. It benefited them. And we got into a huge fight. They ended up kicking me out and everything. And all I had was my stuff, my drugs. And whenever you go into things like that, whenever things like that happen to you, the first thing you think of, what is what I know? Go sell drugs, make money, get a hotel room, continue on. But I had been clean already for almost 2 weeks. If I would have went, I had two options. I had an option of driving to the hood where I'm from and using, because that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to use because I was so upset. I knew how to make myself not feel upset was to go do a big shot of H. So I was so upset. I wanted to go use. So my two options was to go use, feel numb and feel better and not feel anything, or not do that. And I had remembered that when I was on probation, my probation officer sent me to Narcotics Anonymous, gave me a list, and I went to Narcotics Anonymous close to where I live, my family member's house. And that's the only place I knew. So my phone was almost dead. I didn't know the address. I just kind of remembered, like 4 years before that had happened, I kind of remembered still where it was. So instead of driving, taking a right and driving back to the hood and doing all the dope I had with me, I took a left and I went to a Narcotics Anonymous meeting. Luckily for me, because it's not open all the time. There's hours that Narcotics Anonymous is open. They have their meeting. Luckily for me, it was right when the meeting had started, and people were there, other recovering addicts, other people that wanted to do good. I ended up finding it and everything, and I met great people that I told, because whenever after the meeting everybody goes outside and talks to each other, I was upset and people could tell I was upset, and people came up to me and were like, oh, what's going on? And I share with them that I'm a recovering addict, how long I have been in recovery, how long I have been without using. And what's crazy is that's when I met my son's father, was that day I met him. He has 29 years in recovery, but that's when I met him. And the only place I had to go after the meeting was back to the hood or with other using addicts. And they were like, no, let us help you. Like, don't go back to where you know to go. But what I'm saying is, after you detox, you need support. You need to find a place with other like-minded people, other people that can share with you the right thing to do, because one, you're vulnerable because you're not used to all the problems and everything, facing all those problems with a clear mind. You don't know how to cope, especially if you use drugs to help cope with life problems. But after you detox, you need to get into a meeting. You need to find other like-minded people. You need to change the way you were living, people, places, and things. Get into some kind of counseling. Find people, because your family is a great support system, don't get me wrong, but they don't exactly know what you're going through or how to help you whenever you have triggers or you want to use or any of that. So go to a Narcotics Anonymous meeting or AA meeting. Get into counseling, change people, places, and things, and continue doing the work. Because if you do not continue doing the work, you will probably relapse. And if you were an H user, if you relapse after going so long without using drugs, that can mean that you overdose, because your body doesn't have a high tolerance anymore. You can overdose if you relapse. So you have to find help. The work continues after you get detoxed. Continue doing the work to make sure that you stay on the same path. Happy Father's Day. I'm going to go into this McDonald's with my family, and I hope y'all have a blessed one. This message is for any recovering addicts, family members of addicts getting out of jail, or getting out of rehab, or people that just detoxed. This message is for y'all. Just find them help in Narcotics Anonymous or counseling or something. Have a great day.